Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the superintendent, Mr. Barry Swenson, principal, Ms. Angela Watson, and athletic director, Mr. Dan Bureau, I'd like to welcome you to today's Southeast Conference matchup between the Indians of Dartmouth High School and our Trojans of Bridgewater Range. Participating student athletes, coaches, and contest officials have worked hard to diligently prepare for today's competition. Please show your appreciation by demonstrating good sportsmanship and respect for all in attendance. Please wear your mask at all times and practice social distancing. If you require assistance, please call upon a BR staff member or a police officer. Thank you. Could I please direct your attention to the BR sideline? And at this time, the administration, athletic department, and coaching staff would like to thank the senior members of the marching band, the color guard, cheerleaders, and football players who are participating in their last home game. We would like to express our sincere gratitude for all that they have done and wish them well in the future. These seniors would like to thank their parents and friends for all the support they have received over the past 4 years. Number 4, Jaden Grant. Number 17, Van Darnley. Number 18, Captain Anthony Morrison. Number 31, Corey Alvarez. Number 32, Jay Holland. Number 33, Jacob Spear. Number 44, Hunter Garrett. Number 51, Paul Sanjay. Number 53, Shay Manconi. Number 54, Kyle Perry. Number 56, Max Compton. Number 56, Max Compton. And number 66, Ryan McDermott. Number 67, Stephen Travis. Number 70, Jaden Feliciano. Number 72, Captain Billy Donnelly. And Captain number 74, Andrew Benino. Number 82, Devin O'Leary. Number 86, Nick Hogue. And Captain number 88, Luke Payton. Now for the senior cheerleaders. Madison Hill. Damani Fernandez. Sarah Flores. And Kendra Smith. Eve Costello, Angie Dumare, Julia Murray, Jeff LaBleu, Alessa Wausau. Congratulations, seniors. Our great nation has preserved. Thank you for your service.
We welcome you to Bridgewater Rainham Regional High School for this Senior Day matchup as the Dartmouth Indians take on the Bridgewater Rainham Trojans. We'll preview this matchup coming up in just a moment. But right now, we turn things over to the BR Marching Band for the playing of our national anthem. But first, Nick Sylvia with God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairies to the ocean, white and foamed. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Thank you, Nick. Thank you. Please remain standing as the Bridgewater Rainham Marching Band plays our national anthem.
So as mentioned, this is Senior Day. This is the final game for a lot of these seniors. 20, I think I counted. I am John Luck along with Tom Quigley. And Tom, there are a lot of storylines in this game. We talked about a lot of storylines a couple weeks ago, myself and Brian Berard. But today, the Southeast Conference standings are a big thing to look at, but also this is the final home game for BR head coach Dan Buron.
Yeah, right, you are, John. It's really been remarkable. We were talking about before the game here, just how long the Coach Buron has been here with BR, and it's been, like you said, almost over 3 decades now, even before, let's see my sheet here, before I was even born. So it's certainly been a great run for Coach Buron, and it's hopefully a good game here to send him off on today.
Meanwhile, for this BR Trojans football team, a lot of this offense is going to be on the shoulders of number 18, that is Anthony Morrison, who's averaged, quick math here, probably about 200 yards a game or so.
Yeah, it still is a young season, but nonetheless, that is a very impressive stat line from Morrison here. And we're talking now again pregame here that what BR really needs to do here. And unless Dartmouth can really go out there and stop them, just run the ball all afternoon.
So mention that BR has 20 seniors. Dartmouth, they don't have that many seniors. They don't have that many upperclassmen. Looking at the roster, breaking things down, Dartmouth has 5 seniors, 15 juniors, and 17 sophomores. So a small roster, granted, things are a little wonky here in the spring season. But still, this is a season of learning the game of football for Dartmouth.
Yeah, it really is, especially then you can't really have too many fans at certain places. It's only 3 games in here, and it's anything certainly far but normal here. So, young team here, let's see what they can go here and do today.
So as you can see on your screen, BR won the toss. They have deferred to the second half on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. We started things out a little chilly, but I mean here in the press box it's pretty warm.
Yeah, it's certainly really cold out front for a little bit, but sun's starting to come out now. It's very clear. It's a great day for some spring football, not something you hear too often.
Now, BR still has one more game regardless of how this goes. They're going to be taking on Brockton next week in the City of Champions. A 12 o'clock kickoff, but still, this is the final time that a lot of these players will be on the field in front of their family. And with families and friends watching this on YouTube and on BTV. BR in their last 10 games against Dartmouth, 9-1 and outscoring the Indians by a combined score of 251 to 79. That lone win for Dartmouth came back in 2016. That was a 13-6 win. So the seniors here on Dartmouth looking for their first win against the BR Trojans.
Certainly won't be an easy task for them, as BR's offense has been very effective to start this season.
Will be number 15, Mason Berry.
So Mason Berry going to kick things away. There is a bit of wind going from, it looks like, the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen from what I'm seeing. But the flag is flying. Berry, one of the few freshmen on this football team. We are underway here at the regional. And Dartmouth will start out from their own 31-yard line. As we get set to see junior quarterback Will Kelly lead this offense out on the field. Special teams is one of the things that against Durfee it didn't look like BR had a grasp on, but that first play certainly better field position than what Durfee got a couple weeks ago. Starting out here, Dylan Gomes on the near side. Handoff straight up the middle for a gain of a couple or so. That's going to be
game tackle by the Trojans. And it looks like gain of about a yard.
It's number 34. There's no 34 on the roster I have, but
oh, mine either, John. You're out of luck. We'll figure this out as we go.
And
jump there from BR.
Apologize from the booth because it's very difficult to get the Dartmouth numbers. We'll do our best with the back color and the sun.
one of the good things about having Mr. T up here in the booth, he says it like it is.
Oh, very true. I'm glad that he's saying, because we're all thinking up here. It is green on what, blue or black, I believe. So it is quite tough seeing from up here, but we're trying our best.
So after the 5-yard penalty brings up a second and about 1. And Dartmouth will pick up the first down up to the 44-yard line. QB keeper there for Kelly, who's going to get a bulk of the offense for Dartmouth in this game, one would expect. About a 5-yard gain. Handoff straight up the middle into BR territory.
Number 34, Ethan Marquez on the carry.
We're seeing Dartmouth get some good second effort carries here after first contact.
That's 7 yards.
Moved the ball pretty effectively thus far.
Hunter Dara on the tackle for the Trojan, assisted by Corey Avalon.
And you see on the sideline there, it looks like a little bit of a college game here for Dartmouth. They got a couple of their players with some different pictures for the play calls. Handoff up the middle, going to be a small gain, brings up a 3rd and short.
Again on that carry, number 34, Ethan Marquez, and stopped by Logan Johnson, number 87, the Trojan.
So Logan Johnson gets credited with the stop, brings up 3rd and inches here. A couple minutes gone at the regional.
3rd and inches, it looks like from up here.
And another flag. The 2nd flag of this drive.
We have an offside on the Trojans.
You got some senior day jitters going on here.
And it will be a first down. Oh, stop it.
Dartmouth can move the ball and score early. They faced Brockton a couple weeks ago and scored on the Boxers in just 4 plays. Here's Kelly on the QB keep. He's going to get the first down up to about the 30-yard line.
It's a great keeper by Kelly, breaking out to the outside, getting past the first initial blockers there. Was able to get he was able to move the chains.
Tackled by Ryan Raheny of the Trojans.
Ryan Braheny with the stop. Handoff up the middle, but met by some BR defenders there. Looks like Evan Thrasher might have been on the stop for BR for the small pickup.
Compton on the tackle for the Trojans. Assisted by Evan Thrasher.
Kelly gonna throw, hit as he throws, and that's gonna be out of bounds. But the pressure there by Logan Johnson really making Kelly think quickly.
I believe that was one of the first through we have there from Dartmouth's offense today, so make him think about that one after that. He completely untouched from the edge there.
Dartmouth lost to Durfee last week, 28-7. They were held to 36 yards of total offense in the first half. They're already on their way to surpassing that in this first drive. Handoff up the middle. We're going to bring up a 4th and about 3 in an interesting spot on the field here in high school football.
Yeah, it's just a little long here for a field goal, but 4th and 3, they've been able to move the ball pretty effectively, so we'll see if they can try to get some short yards here. The best way to keep BR's offense from scoring is keeping them off the field.
So here in no man's land for Dartmouth, they're going to go for it on 4th down. Kelly rolls to his right. He tries to do some fancy footwork, but he's met by Logan Johnson.
BR setting the edge well that time after getting burned a few plays before. Now letting Kelly go in.
87, Logan Johnson.
So now we see BR's offense come out on the field, and we mentioned that the focal point is going to be number 18, Anthony Morrison, as he has amassed about 200 yards of offense a game. But still, as we get closer and closer to this game against Brockton next week, if you're Dan Buron, you have to kind of wonder, do you bring in some different players to try and throw off the Brockton defense that they're going to be looking at this game to scout?
Yeah, right you are. They really have to try to see if they can maybe get a lead or something going on early if they want to try some different packages of formations, see if they can practice some things for Brockton next week.
Nolan DeAndre under center for BR on the first play. And the handoff goes to Morrison, who will get dragged down. Nope, never mind. Breaks through the defense. It's senior day. Morrison is going to start things off on the right foot. 73 yards.
It looked like initially that Morrison there was getting brought down in a shoestring tackle, but was able just to keep his body up and just take it to the house in the first play. That's the way to start your senior day.
You can try and stop number 18, but many teams have, and thus far this season, many teams have failed.
After a pretty sustainable drive there from Dartmouth to start out, BR answers right away in the first play.
Owen Green comes on for the PAT, and it is a 7-0 lead with 6:32 to go.
So as soon as Morrison broke into that secondary, there was no chance for Dartmouth.
Dartmouth's opening drive took about 4 minutes and 19 seconds. BR's opening drive took about 9 seconds.
I'm sure Coach Biron really enjoys seeing that stat sheet.
And also, this is a double-edged sword because now, just like that, Dartmouth's offense comes back out after really hitting the stone wall in BR's defense around that 30-yard line. So now it's back out to try and crack this defense of BR.
Coming out already pulling behind after just one drive, so see if they can be able to really try to string something together here and throw out some different looks at BR than just to the keepers and try to run the ball up the middle, which, as we saw, stalled out just about around the 30.
And we mentioned this is a young team for Dartmouth, so maybe this isn't a season about trying to go undefeated, trying to win a championship, but maybe just a season to try and figure out which players you can take with you in the fall, because that was something that Coach Biron talked about earlier this year, that some coaches, this is kind of that spring practice that you maybe see in college.
Yeah, it really is. You know, it's just such an odd time of year playing football in the spring, but you're able to try to find out who can perform well in certain situations and who you might, like you said, want to try to keep around and see what they can do. I'm sure tackling will be a very big focal point for the rest of the game there, as they have Morrison backed up and not even to the line of scrimmage yet, but able to break his way out of a tackle.
Back to receive will be Baron Dutra and number 34, Ethan Martinez.
End over end, and looks like Dartmouth will start out a little better than the first time, up to the 33, but that is dependent on the flag. That was Patrick Crane, I believe, bringing it back for Dartmouth.
Got popped there in the sidelines.
On that kickoff, number 8, Patrick Crane. And on the tackle, number 32, James Holland.
James Holland on the stop. And it's going to come back as that's going to go on Dartmouth, the first penalty of the day on the Indians.
Get a decent return there and strong hit.
Will Kelly under the ball in the shotgun formation.
Landon Soares lines up on the near side for Dartmouth for their first play of this drive. Here's a handoff to Selnave Esterlin.
You see Dartmouth really trying to attack this edge here, doing a lot of sweeps out. We've seen Kelly do a few keepers, so the threat does remain.
A 9-yard pickup for number 22. And they'll give him forward progress, so it's going to bring up a first down for Dartmouth.
Tell you what, this front seven of BR is really laying down the hammer on these hits. These are some brick walls that Dartmouth is just trying to break through.
So there may be a printing error here, but I think number 32 on our rosters is number 34 on the field. That's Ethan Marquise. This is a QB keep by Kelly, and he'll pick up about 3 on the play.
And again on the tackle, number 87,
Logan Johnson with the stop. Again, they go to Esterlin on the drive, and he's going to come close to the first down marker.
on the carry, number 22, so name Esterlin.
Going to be a yard shy.
We've seen a big third down here for Dartmouth.
Unofficially 13 yards on 2 carries for Esterlin already. Coming up on 6 minutes gone in the first quarter. On third down, straight through the middle of the field into BR territory. That is Marquise.
Good play call by Dartmouth. We've seen him attack the edge and the sidelines a few times in a row now. So move pressure over the edge and able to get it right up the middle.
And QB keep here by Kelly going to the far side. He's going to get the first down into the second tier of BR defense up to about the 25-yard line.
Kelly on that carry, and again, it's a down, first down. Thrasher on the shot for the Trojans.
About a 15-yard gain.
This is where the last Dartmouth drive called out. Let's see if they're able to kind of adapt from last time and continue to move the ball here.
First down from the 26-yard line.
Marquis going to pick up about 4 or 5. And Marquis is one of the handful of juniors for the Dartmouth team who comes into this game at 1-2. Dylan Gomes on the near side. Marquis straight through the middle, going across the 20.
On that tackle, number 31, Corey Abelard.
Corey Abelard with a takedown. And a pretty fast-moving first quarter, already down to 3:43 to go.
32 from the 18.
Hard count, and the flags come flying again.
So going for a false start.
Look like motion in the backfield.
So that'll be the second penalty of the day on Dartmouth. BR already has 2.
It's importantly taking that third and short, bring it third and long now. To, looks like, I believe, 3rd and 8 to go.
3rd and 7 from the 23.
Third and long, handoff goes to Esterlin on the far side. He gets the first down. He's going to come close to the end zone, but he gets stopped at the 2.
Esterlin on the carry, number 22, Brad Dartmouth.
It's a great cut by Esterlin there. You saw he was potential one guy to beat, was able to cut back on the inside, so they've opted out to the sidelines and gets Dartmouth in scoring position here.
Marquise in the backfield, and Marquise is in the end zone. Dartmouth charges down the field and answers back.
That's just what Dartmouth needed there. A long, sustained drive, started a couple backed up from penalties. Able to march all the way downfield and put it in for 6.
Ethan Marquise 2 yards out, but this drive was really all about Ethan Marquise and complemented there by number 22, Salnave Esterlin. Low line kick, but we have a tie game with 2:48 to go in the first quarter. Rick White's team overcoming a 3rd and long that we thought was going to kind of be that Achilles heel, but they got that first down and did a little bit more damage.
They did it all on the ground, too. BR has not been able to really have too much of a say here when it comes to Dartmouth pounding the ball on the ground, but then again, Dartmouth wasn't able to stop for one drive either, so really dominated time possession, but that's what happens when you score on one play.
Mentioned the one-sided point totals when you take the past 10 meetings, and you have to imagine that pride starts to come in here for some of these players that continue to lose these lopsided games in years past.
Yeah, they got themselves back in a tie game situation here. Plenty of time to go. This was a fast-moving first quarter, but all starts with BR's offense right now.
So that was about a 3-minute and 40-second drive. And Dartmouth is going to call a timeout with 2:48 to go.
Timeout by Dartmouth.
As Rick White's team is going to talk things over after surrendering a 73-yard run to Anthony Morrison on the first play on offense for BR.
Yeah, tackling really has to be a focal point here. As we saw, Morrison was backed up and upon the line of scrimmage, but they're able to break out of a shoestring and just take it all the way. So once that man gets in the secondary, it is over for them.
As you see the cheerleaders and the BR band here at the regional. This is the first game for the band. They weren't here for the game against Durfee a couple weeks ago, but things slowly starting to get back to normal. We mentioned a couple weeks ago, family members are here of the players on the senior day, which certainly makes things a little bit easier for the senior players that could be playing their final game.
Yeah, it really couldn't come at a better time for family and friends and even the band to show up here. It's been pretty interesting year the past year. Nothing but normal here, so it's good to have some sense of, even though everyone's spread out, socially distanced as it needs to be, they're able to have some fans here and friends and family.
Ryan Bahini awaiting this kick. Strong kick that's actually going to go in the hands of James Holland. Or check that, that's number 33. That's Jacob Spear who gets the ball up to the 40-yard line, and that's where the BR offense will start from once again.
33, Jacob Spear.
Spear, one of the seniors that you heard recognized before the game.
Especially under the protocol. We congratulate both coaches for following out the protocol throughout the season.
Brahini going on the far side on this first play. The pitch goes to Morrison. Gets some edge blocking, and Morrison will get taken down right around midfield. For the 9-yard pickup.
Second down and a early shot. One down for the Trojans.
On second down, handoff to Morrison into Dartmouth territory for about a 3-yard pickup.
Carry Anthony Morrison for the first down.
Earlier this week, the Brockton Enterprise did a feature story on the BR offensive line, and Morrison was very complimentary of the BR offensive line, saying that they have monsters on the line. Quote, I think they're the best offensive line in the state. I got some big men I'm running behind. They make my job a lot easier, end quote.
Well, being running back, one of your best friends is the offensive line, and they've been very beneficial for him this season so far.
Running game and offensive line play staples of this BR offense. Quick pass over to number 44, Hunter Darrer. And Darrer's going to pick up the first down.
Great cut by Darrer there. You saw him on the sideline. So do a little double move there to get past his defender and get the first down.
Darrer converted a 2-point conversion against New Bedford last week. And that may be DeAndre's first completed pass in a couple weeks. Here's a pitch to Morrison on first down. And Morrison will get up to the 21 for about an 8-yard pickup.
Tackled by Dartmouth there, number 18, William Chow, as he was able to look like Morrison was starting to break into the secondary a little bit, but brought down from behind.
So it was actually a 12-yard gain as they moved the chains to bring up a first down inside of a minute to go in the first.
It looks like we got 42 seconds on that clock.
DeAndre, awkward snap there.
So it's picked up.
Dartmouth says they have it, and they do have it.
Recovery by Dartmouth.
Sure, the miscue was there, but DeAndre wasn't able to hold on to the snap, and Dartmouth good awareness, jumping right on the ball.
That stop recovered from Williams by T.J. Pickering.
TJ Pickering credited with the fumble recovery. And with 27 seconds to go in the first quarter, Indians back on offense from their own 23-yard line.
From the 23-yard line.
Running play to the near side, that is Patrick Crane. Gets about an 8-yard gain.
On that carry, number 8, Patrick Crane.
And that should be the final play of this first quarter. So Dartmouth 7, BR 7 after 1 quarter of play. The BR Trojans, Anthony Morrison, 73-yard run is the offensive story. But right now we want to take you back to a game that took place on this football field back on Wednesday night, as it was the girls here at BR playing in the 2021 Powder Puff football game. And there was some fancy footwork, I will say, from this light pink team that came to play. Now, typically, this is a game played between juniors and seniors, but I think they commingled the rosters. And the light pink team came out with the 30-6 win. We did have Anthony Morrison and a couple other players on the call. You can watch this game on our website, btvaccess.com, or on our YouTube page. Search BTV Access Corporation. Let's take a look at the dark pink's only score of the night, but still, I think it's safe to say a fun night had by all.
Yeah, it certainly looks like one of those highlights there. Everyone's having a good time. It looks like a pretty active game.
Even had members of Trojan Nation outside the fence watching through the fence. Not sure if that's suggested in these social distance times, but short loss for Dartmouth on the opening play of the second quarter. Looks like a little bit of miscommunication.
So BR needs trying to get the ball back here. 7 yards on the carry. Or excuse me, 3rd and 3 now.
Dartmouth 1 for 2 on 3rd down in the first quarter. And Kelly was going to throw it. Instead, he's going to get hit down onto the turf to bring up 4th down.
Good stand by BR. Looks like Kelly, once he got to the open field, he is dangerous, but they're able to wrap him up and bring him down.
All right, that was number 59, Evan Thrasher on that sack.
Evan Thrasher with the sack. His second takedown of Kelly today.
4th down and 5.
And Kelly hits that off of his own teammate. The ball is still loose, but it looks like BR is going to fall on top of it. That's Logan Johnson. That looked like a broken play almost, as I think that was Kelly that kicked it into his own teammate.
Looked like for a second he was rolling out, trying to fake it out and throw it downfield, but just line trapped in the back of his own guy. The ball, I think, changed possessions like 3-4 times in the field down there. I'm not sure what that's credited as, but BR is getting great field position to start here this drive.
So the fumble by DeAndre turns out to be nothing more than just a blip on the radar, and just like that, they're almost back to where they could have been if that ball didn't get fumbled. Dara, the motion man. The give is to Morrison, who is going to be a couple yards shy up to about the 4. Already unofficially 106 yards of offense for Morrison on 5 carries.
But his average per carry looks pretty good right now.
On 2nd down, hand off to Morrison, who gets met at the line of scrimmage, and depending on the spot, could be a 1st down.
Looks like they marked him short.
So we'll bring up a 3rd and inches. The pitch to Morrison. Fake going one way. He's going to go for the end zone and get the touchdown.
Good design run there by BR as Morrison's able to run out to his left, get the blockers up front, easily get his way in there for another 6.
Just over a minute and a half for that drive. And a lot of that, of course, is thanks to the miscues by Dartmouth.
Owen Green kicking for the Trojans.
Owen Green on for the PAT. And BR is back in front by 7.
Owen kicking good. Trojans 14, Dartmouth 7.
After the New Bedford game, Dan Bjorn talked to South Coast Today, which covers New Bedford, and said this about Anthony Morrison. Quote, Anthony has good vision, he made good cuts, and he's strong. He's really exceeded my expectations. I knew he was good, but I didn't know he was this good. Credit our offensive line as well. They did a good job blocking and opening up lanes, and we've seen it so far today. This offensive line has created a lot of open lanes for number 18.
Yeah, we really have. They've gotten a lot of big holes for Morrison going, found his way through, and he's had some good cuts, as Coach Buron has stated in that. So everything showing up in this game here today.
Mason Berry kicks it away.
Mason Berry kicking out for Dartmouth.
And the Indians are going to get some decent field position as we see a flag come out. For the moment, Dartmouth is going to start from their own 37.
Moving the stakes, so it is first down for Dartmouth.
And this is going against the Trojans. Run 54 maybe?
Gives Dartmouth some great field position here already in BR territory.
And 10 for Dartmouth.
So that's going to be the third penalty of the day on the Trojans, already amassing 25 yards and penalties, and gives Dartmouth some better field position on the first play up to the 46-yard line. That is Marquis.
Number 34, Ethan Marquis. On the tackle, number 31, Corey Adelard. And Luke Payton.
Abelard and Peyton on the stop, and we get a stoppage of play.
Ball change, I believe.
Kind of brings you to some flashbacks back in 2016 at Gillette Stadium, maybe.
We don't need to talk about it, right?
Small pickup for Dartmouth on second down. Going to bring up third and about 5 after the gain by Marquis.
Marquis on the carry. We have a Trojan down, but he's up.
Those Evan Thrasher slow to get up, but I'm not sure.
87.
It's like he's still all right in there.
Johnson. Also, Thrasher assisting on that tackle.
Going under the 7-minute mark in the second quarter. Kelly still looking for his first completion of the day, and he does get it. That's Baron Dutra.
Good patience there by Kelly, rolling out all the way to the right and delivering a good ball down to the sidelines.
So Kelly's pass is complete to number 13, Baron Dutra. And they're moving the stakes again.
13-yard pickup on Kelly's first completion of the day. Marquise on the carry. Gets inside the 30.
Gave him a gain of 2 there. Not much going.
On second down, this is a sweep, and that is Esterlin on the carry on the near side. He'll get a couple more yards, up to about the 25.
So BR starting to get the wind on these sweeps here. It's not doing as much as they were in the first quarter.
And we get a water break. NASCAR has, you know, pit stops. Here in this new age of pandemic sports, we have water breaks now.
Everyone's got to recharge.
Inside of 6 minutes to go. I will say, one thing I've noticed watching Dartmouth, and we've talked about this a little bit on the first drive, is the play calling on the sideline. You see sometimes in high school football the wristbands, or you see the quarterback run over the coach, but this is some college level stuff going on here, as we see, I think it's the backup quarterbacks. They're holding up signs of different sports teams that mean a play of some sort.
Yeah, it's really good here, showing that, you know, college level sideline work for, as we said before, a pretty young team. I've never quite understood what any of that meant, but that's why I'm up here.
It's creative. I think Oregon has some good ones.
Yeah.
They get like SpongeBob SquarePants, Lee Corso, and Reese Davis, and that somehow means like a shotgun Hail Mary of some sort.
I've seen former President Barack Obama several times. I have no idea what that play means, but it's got to be fun to come up with those in practice.
I think that's a summertime activity. Like from the 4th of July barbecue up to Labor Day, you just kind of start going on Google, look for some images.
Just decide what we're going to do here.
So 5:54 to go, this BR defense, this may be a break that they certainly need, because this defense, especially the running game of Esterlin and Marquise, they've certainly tested the defensive line of BR.
Yeah, they're really doing a good job of stretching the defense out, attacking the edges a lot more, and when BR puts more of the pressure on that side, they just take it right up the middle. So a good, water break here, get defense back going. 3rd and 8, so wouldn't be surprised if Kelly drops back to pass again.
So it's worth noting here that with 5:54 to go in the second, BR deferred the opening kickoff, so they will receive first.
Ooh.
But right now, some trickery. Marquise, he's going to complete it, and Dartmouth digging deep into the bag of tricks.
What a play call there by Dartmouth, capitalizing that water break, and really good double pass and wide open downfield.
That's Dutrour with the reception. About 23 yards, I believe. But still, nice play call.
They caught BR totally off guard there. Ooh. Almost blocked by BR.
Nearly blocked, but we still have a tied game with 5:47 to go. And coming up at halftime, we are going to play more of that interview that Brian Berard had with BR head coach and athletic director Dan Biron, who is coaching his final home game here at the regional before he steps down as AD and head coach. Very interesting interview. Relaxed interview that I think we got some answers out of Dan Biron that I think if we talk to him, obviously now you're not going to get those answers, but at most parts of the day you won't get those answers, but a lot of truth, then you kind of go inside the head of the head coach, which is something you don't usually get to do during a football season.
Yeah, we're at a weird time. We mentioned spring football. It's his last season, so he's probably in an interesting spot just as we are here. It's his last year after a very long, successful career as head coach, and he's playing football in April, and it's also stepping down. So he's in a very interesting spot here.
And he did say in that interview we talked about a couple weeks ago that he still wants to be in football. It just won't be in a head coaching role. And he said that, you know, being a head coach, after a while, it just starts to wear on you. And, you know, being a coordinator or someone that you can give your input on, it kind of is a little bit easier as you get to this stage.
Tell you what, though, it's going to be tough coming in as a coordinator, as being a head coach for so many years. It's going to be hard, just, you know, repetition and technique just to not step in.
End over end. And this is a nice return by Jacob Spear into Dartmouth territory.
Good seeing all the seniors getting in here a little bit. Anywhere they can to stand out. It was a great return by Spear.
BR doesn't really have to worry about the clock game. Still 5:41 to go, and again, they will receive the opening kickoff for the third quarter. Dar and Brahini on the far side. Now Dar the motion man. And the handoff goes to Michael Rubo, who will get about a 3-yard pickup.
On the carry, number 8, Rubo. Stop on the play by number 50, Daniel Martin. That is Michael Rubio. On the carry.
2nd and 8, going inside of 5 minutes to go in the first half. Anthony Morrison gets stopped almost at the first down marker. Going to be about an 8-yard gain.
I'll tell you what, too, with the blockers he has up front, he comes out of that backfield like a cannon, just shooting his way out of there. So it's really tough to bring him down. He's got a full head of steam going.
So they're going to measure this, and on the replay, it looks like he may have gotten that arm over, but it could be the angle that we were looking from. And he's going to be a little bit short. No index card needed for this one. My favorite first down measurement I've ever seen.
I think that they might have made that illegal now, right?
What was that?
They're no longer allowed to do that anymore, I think, after...
I mean, I didn't think you were allowed to use an index card to measure, but we learn new things every day.
We do.
Being told that was Gene Steratore, and now if you measure with an index card, you're the officiating person for CBS for NFL and now March Madness. So
you can even saw him some of the college games too. So must be fun getting paid to watch football all day.
That's the American dream. On 3rd down, the handoff to Rubo, who'll get the first down by about a yard or so. I have BR down now for 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, which maybe speaks more to the play calling and the performance on offense of these players, that there's only been 2 third downs unofficially.
Yeah, did a really good job of getting the ball, you know, none of these 3rd and long or 2nd long situations. They get moving the chains, make it real short distance football.
Under 4 minutes to go, DeAndre's going to pass. Or rather, he's going to go on the run up to the 30. And DeAndre, a nice run by the quarterback.
Not sure if that was a design run or not. He was looking, looked like he was looking downfield, but DeAndre opted to keep it himself. Move the chains yet again.
Patrick Crane with the pull down of DeAndre. Who's becoming more of a presence in this offense than we've seen over the past couple of weeks. The pitch to Morrison, and Morrison, again, like you said, shot out of a cannon. He's going to come close to the first down.
And stopped again by Ethan McCabe.
That big touchdown run early on helps, but his yards per carry must be close to 10 on average now.
It will be second down and a long run for the Trojans. And the ball is resting.
That's the 8th carry of the day. Mentioned Morrison had a 73-yard run on the first play on offense for BR. Also had a 4-yard rushing touchdown. As BR looks to kill off more clock here inside of 3 minutes to go. Morrison carried. Fancy footwork across the 5.
Just tripped up there. Wasn't able to give that final leap into the end zone.
34, Ethan McCabe.
Ethan Marquis on the pull down, and that's about a 10-yard gain.
Only needs 4 more to go.
I have to imagine for the players on the field, this makes things a little easier. Obviously, you're dealing with a first and goal with 2 minutes to go in the first half. You don't really have to rush things too much.
Probably trying to burn as much clock as they can so Dartmouth doesn't even get a chance.
And you can see DeAndre looking at the referee when the arm goes up. It's time to start moving. Inside 2 minutes. Handoff to Rubo, and Rubo gets the touchdown. 4-yard touchdown run for Michael Rubo. And BR is back in front.
It really is just the ground attack by BR there. As even DeAndre himself got involved there for moving the chains, and they have been just torching this Dartmouth defense on the ground.
That was the longest possession of the day so far for BR. Nearly 4 minutes. And Owen Green will once again make it a 7-point game, and back and forth we go between longtime division foes.
21-13. Trojans take the lead.
Dartmouth has just enough time here to try and get some sort of a sustained drive and march down the field, but below 2 minutes, do have to move the ball.
And just like college, the clock will stop on a first down, and obviously if you go out of bounds, the clock will stop too. But you also don't want to go too quickly, because with someone like Dan Bjorn that's coaching his 300th career game, he knows enough about the timeout situation and, how to manage the clock.
There's no reason to believe he won't be aggressive if he's able to get the ball back with any sort of time left.
Number 34, Ethan Marquis, and number 13, Darren Cooper. Back will be Patrick Crane.
Crane, Esterlin, and I believe Marquis is back there as well. Low line kick that will be taken by Esterlin. Esterlin gets away from a couple of defenders but gets forced out at the 32.
They opt to try to, squib it up the middle there, but Dartmouth able to get a decent return out of it.
Hunter Dara with the stop, and we mentioned this at the start of the game that the wind is moving a little bit here. Not sure how much it's going to affect the ball if it's in the air. As the team logos are out, and Kelly's going to keep this one, get some blocking, but he's going to get forced out by Corey Abelard. Pick up about 8 on the play.
Second and 1.
27 yards rushing on 6 carries for Kelly. Throwing on the run, that is caught, but staying in bounds, a key stop there. The completion was made to Dutra.
Kelly hasn't opted to throw it too much this first half, but when he does, he is good at throwing it downfield.
So a 12-yard pickup for Dutra, and the first down as the clock continues to wind down now, down to a minute 23. He's getting rushed, and Kelly will work his way out of bounds.
Not sure he had much of a gain there, if at all.
Evan Thrasher also on the pressure, number 59.
So it's a small loss, but more importantly, the clock will stop at 1:13 as Kelly, I think very wisely, ran out of bounds, realizing he didn't really have any options to go to.
Second and 12.
Fake handoff, but Kelly is under more duress, and he will work his way out of bounds again.
We are doing a great job of getting in the backfield there. It's going to be third and long now. Just over a minute to go. Trying to force him in more obvious passing situations if possible.
Almost looks like Johnson's turned into almost a spy on Kelly.
Third and 12, just over a minute and a half.
So now a bit of an issue here for Dartmouth. A minute 5 to go. It's 3rd and 12, and Dartmouth is 3 of 5 on 3rd down, but potentially BR could get the ball back with about a minute to go. Kelly rolls to his right, floats it up, and it brings up 4th down.
It's great coverage there by BR, not letting anybody get open downfield, forcing Kelly just to toss out of bounds.
Pass attempt by Dartmouth incomplete, but there's a penalty on the play. Looks like it's roughing the passer.
And we got a roughing the passer penalty, which is exactly what BR didn't need.
Dartmouth catching a break here. Move forward, decent amount. Now with a minute to go, looks like actually more time for Dartmouth.
That first down is going to place Dartmouth at the...
So that's the 4th penalty, and BR has already amassed 40 yards of penalties, which helps Dartmouth. Obviously, 58 seconds to go, a new set of downs, but now even more favorable field position. Kelly in the gun, handoff goes to Esterlin. Gets a nice block. Esterlin into BR red zone territory. And the clock stops at 49.
Great sweep there by Esterlin. Looked like he was just able to catch those BR defenders sleeping a little bit. He was able to cut his way to the sidelines. Yeah, nice gain.
Ball is at the 19, first down.
16-yard gain. Still in the motion man. Kelly faked the handoff, but BR had that one scouted out, as that's Abelard on the stop.
Great read by Abelard there. Came completely untouched up the middle to bring Kelly down.
And we get a timeout called by Dartmouth with 42 seconds to go.
Possibly a little loss. Looks like a loss of 1. It's going to be 2nd and 11. Dartmouth takes a timeout with 42 seconds left.
And Rick White, the head coach of Dartmouth, has become a fan of Will Kelly, who plays on both sides of the ball, saying he's a special kid. He never comes off the field. It's a great quality to have as a player. He led our team in the weight room in the offseason, and he's only a junior. And we talked about this earlier as well, the fact that this is almost like a spring practice type of season. Obviously for BR, there's a lot of people leaving, but for a team like Dartmouth, they have a head coach going into next year. They have a lot of players coming back for next year. So this is kind of that bonus practice that a lot of teams don't get to have.
Yeah, it's good too. You have guys like Kelly going on both sides of the ball. It's really good to help building up your conditioning and really just try to move forward towards fall and next season.
So there's not really a sense of urgency for Dartmouth right now. They still have a timeout to go, 42 seconds, and obviously there's still the clock stopping that could benefit, so you don't really have to hurry up too much at this point.
False start there.
But that won't help causes.
This is the problem. You have a lot of men in motion.
We have movement on the Dartmouth line. Going to back them up another 5.
Penalty number 3 on the day for Dartmouth.
Along 2nd and 16. Ball placed on the 26-yard line of the Trojans.
Marquis in the backfield along with Kelly, who's in the gun. And here comes Johnson trailing Kelly. And Kelly makes his way to the sideline, and that was a late hit. And they're going to get Dar for unnecessary roughness, and Kelly had that one scouted out perfectly.
Yeah, he was way in the backfield. They would make a man miss and just go full forward to the sidelines. And yeah, that was just a bad decision there. He was going way out of bounds at that point. No need to hit him out there. These penalties just keep affecting the Trojans here.
So if I have this right, that's the 3rd personal foul of the day. And one would imagine this is going to be discussed heavily during the halftime conversation between coaches and players.
It's really been like the big negative part for BR here is they just keep shooting themselves in the foot here with these penalties. A couple have been in 3rd and long situations, giving Dartmouth another set of downs.
On the personal foul, Dartmouth will have the ball on the Trojan 8-yard line. 1st down and goal.
And there's still a half minute to go.
30 seconds.
Dartmouth has this inside the 10. Fake the handoff. Kelly goes on the run, stays in bounds. The clock will continue to wind down. And we get a timeout with 22 seconds to go. That's the final timeout for Rick White.
Now he's have got decisions to make here. They are close in the red zone, but that is their last one. Only 22 to go. Got to get out of bounds.
Ball on the 8-yard line. Be the 7.
Right now it's a 2nd and goal, so it's not exactly like you don't have a lot of options here. You can try and go for the passing play. Worst case, it gets dropped. But the worst thing that you can do is catch the ball at about the 2 or 3 yard line, wait for everybody to line up, and then you kill off about 10 to 12 seconds.
See if they just stop and take a couple shots here for the end zone.
Nonetheless, this has been an entertaining first half here between Dartmouth and BR. A very familiar rival for Dan Biron, who again is coaching his 300th career game and his final game here at the regional. Second and goal for Dartmouth. Kelly rolling to the near side, knocked away by Luke Payton.
Great defensive play by Payton there. Kelly was rolling out, nothing really going on the end zone. I believe that pass is going to be short regardless, but more time off the clock for Dartmouth.
Third incompletion of the day brings up 3rd and goal. Dartmouth 3 for 6 on 3rd downs in this first half. And Dan Biron wanted to scout out what the offense looked like. He calls a timeout with 15 seconds left.
Timeout BR.
So as we get set for this first half to come to a close, Tom, I mean, there's a lot of things that could be addressed in the locker room that are good, but there are also some things that need to be worked on. And I'd imagine the personal fouls you look at, but also the play of both Luke Payton and Logan Johnson are going to be addressed because they have been impressive despite some lapses by the defense in this game.
Yeah, it really is. You know, the penalties are certainly a big conversation topic here in halftime. Sure, Coach Biron is really just focusing on this, trying to get this 3rd goal stop here, or 3rd short stop here, sorry.
Big down. Let's hear it for the Trojans. Big down.
Will Kelly today 2 of 5 passing for 25 yards. Big 3rd down for Dartmouth here. Kelly floats it up. It's caught in the end zone and then dropped.
It's going to be close.
The dozens of officials in the stands say no catch. And the referees agree.
Close there. It was a great catch initially in the end zone, able to hold on through the tackle, but wasn't able to bring it down all the way. Big break for BR.
I think it was a big hit there by Anthony Morrison, but then you saw number 32, Holland, come out and rip the ball out of the receiver's hands.
The receiver was already elevated and kind of extended enough. It's hard to hold on to the ball after a hit like that and then to bring it all the way down as well.
Oh. And there is no instant replay in high school football.
Set to go in for a field goal here.
So again, that's Holland. That might have just saved the Trojans' undefeated season at this point. Dartmouth is going to go for a field goal here to end the first half, and it is good. Still 2 seconds to go.
2 seconds to go. BR probably just taking this to half, but big break there in the red zone. It'll hold them for 3.
I don't know if a lot of people had this as a 4-point game going into the halftime break, but here we are, 21-17 between BR, who is 3-0 coming into this game, and Dartmouth, who's 1-2.
A very evenly matched game thus far. BR does have the lead and will be getting the ball to start the second half, but Dartmouth has been making more there here today.
Again, coming up at half, we'll have more of Brian Barrett's conversation with BR head coach and athletic director Dan Biron. Interview that you can watch in full on our YouTube page. Just search BTV Access Corporation if you aren't already on the YouTube page watching this game. Holland, Spear, and Morrison awaiting the kick, but Dartmouth is going to play the safe game here. As Nick Hogue goes down, and that is the end of half number 1. But a very entertaining first half between Dartmouth and BR. Old OCL rivals, now SEC rivals. And we got a good one, 21-17. We'll have the second half coming up in just a little bit, but once again, we'll play more of the Dan Biron interview coming up in just a little bit, but we do want to go to the field now for the halftime entertainment here at BR High School.
I don't know. I wish I.
Let me know if it's bad, okay?
Thank you, BR cheerleaders. Excellent job.
And there's so many adjustments that you have to make now during this pandemic. What have been some of the biggest challenges for you preparing your football team? You know, the kids have to stay 6 feet apart. Your team boxes have been expanded. What have been some of the challenges for you preparing your team during this pandemic?
Just those things you said. You know, you got to try to, socially distance, try to keep them in small groups for instruction. You know, God forbid if someone gets COVID and you don't do that and you're not organized, you could wipe out the entire team for a 10-day quarantine, So you have to be creative, and keep them socially distanced and they have their mask on. Then if someone does get it, you can say, hey, we have taken all the steps and almost even position-wise, you get into groups and you don't have all your starters in one group because you could lose a whole linebacking core, a whole offensive line if you're not careful. So, that's probably the toughest thing. And, water breaks now. Everybody brings their own water. They have to 6 feet apart. And, it's different, but the kids get used to it. And I think kids adapt much more easier than the adults. They always have, and it's like, can't teach an old dog new tricks, and I'm an old dog, so it's hard. But the kids are young dogs, young pups, and they can adjust a lot more easily than I can. So if I can figure it out, they can figure it out. That's the way I look at it. Yeah.
I know you talked about this a little bit earlier too, but going back to the point of the no state champion, how do you prepare knowing that ultimate goal isn't there? Do you think it's going to be harder for the coaches, or do you think it's going to be harder for the kids to prepare knowing that the league or the season's just going to end with that league championship and no state title?
I mean, that's something you can't control. So, I mean, I think we all wish there was a state playoff and a state champion. But again, I'll go back to a lot of people never get there, So I think, again, kids are just grateful that 5 or 6 games and playing for a league conference championship is better than nothing. So, and, we've always we try to just focus 1 week at a time. And it's we're going down to Middleborough this week. That's the most important game on our schedule. And then, because, again, I think we've all realized this already, that the rug can be pulled out at any minute. So just take what's available to you at the time and appreciate it and relish it, because it can be taken away. So those other things, can't worry about the things I can't control. I can't have. We know there's no state championship, so it's over. We've got to move on and just deal with the schedule that's in front of us.
I like it. And you mentioned this earlier. It is your final season at BR. What are your goals personally for your final season here at the regional?
Try to enjoy it a little bit more. I think in the last couple of years, I was always so focused, on the now, and now I'm starting to look back and, realize that what we've accomplished, all of us over the years here, players and coaches, and I've spent a small part of it. And so to try to, I have some great memories. Been a lot of sacrifice and a lot of time and effort, but I wouldn't trade it. I mean, I think I've gotten more out of it than I put into it, and I put a lot into it. Trust me. But I'm really focused on the seniors. They're a great group of kids. I've always leaned on my seniors every year, no matter what. I think every coach does that, but this year in particular, because, like I say, we're going to Middleborough this week, and I hope we get 5 other games in, but it might be the only one. So it just appreciate what you have, I guess. I'm probably, I know I've been a little bit too difficult or too, I'm not sure what the right word is, too focused on the now and not really enjoying the big experience, and I think the last few years realizing that, football games are not just about wins and losses. It's about the personal experiences so, reflection is easy, but saying that I got to get to work for Middleborough. We're playing them tomorrow night. It's going to be a tough game. So, but I guess the life lessons, the kids are great. They've been awesome. The kids, the Bridgewater Raynham kids, and I've worked at other schools a long time ago. The BR kids are unique. They work hard. They're great kids, so I just got to enjoy it, and realize that, hey, there's more serious things in life. I mean, the game for these kids at the time is the most serious thing. It should be what they're focused on. But what we've all been through in the last year, whether we go 6-0 or 0-6 is really not going to change Dan Buren's life. It's not going to change, Anthony Morrison's life or some of the other kids, but we're going to be faced with adversity. How you handle that, I think, prepares you for life. So we've all been dealt with a lot of adversity, and I think the football players can handle that because they have to with me, I don't know. It's kind of corny, I guess I'm getting, but no, I just need to enjoy it and just realize that I've been a very fortunate guy to be able to coach at my alma mater and coach some great kids, a lot of them over the years. And probably I look back, the most proud thing is
All right, back here at the regional where it's 21-17. John Luck, Tom Quigley back here with you. And again, you can watch the full interview between Brian Bard and Dan Biron on our BTV YouTube page. Search BTV Access Corporation. We are going to receive the opening kickoff here, the second half. And a swift kick that goes to the 45. Covered up by Corey Abelard.
Not sure if they're kicking low because of the wind or whatnot, but that really a great break for BR. Good awareness there, getting almost at midfield already.
Almost a better defender than Rafael Devers on opening day for the Red Sox, but still a nice grab there by Abelard. Anthony Morrison, 137 total yards in the first half. And he's going to add on. Morrison into Dartmouth territory. And Morrison has just scored his third touchdown of the senior day.
That was senior day, Anthony Morrison. Already, I believe that's his third touchdown, second of just long, great break tackles in the backfield. Just go.
That is Anthony's third touchdown of the game.
Certainly not how Dartmouth wanted to start off this second half.
So now he goes from 137 to 192.
Oren Green on the point after.
Just keeping that average of almost 200 yards a game going today.
And more importantly right now, BR is in front by 2 possessions. Now 28-17 with 10:46 to go in the third. All right, so after all that, Tom, what's some of your takeaways from that first half that we just saw?
Well, I was saying for BR, just keep going Anthony Morrison. Sure enough, they do that on second one-play drive for him today. And the big key for BR is mostly on defense is to really just try to cut these penalties out as best they can for Dartmouth. They need to stop the run, which they certainly have not done right now. And they have to just keep scoring here on offense, keep these drives going. They cannot fall behind here against this offense.
Typically, we see a Trojans offense that takes a lot of time off the clock, eats up a lot of yards, but today we've had 2 drives of 1 play. Anthony Morrison with a 73-yard run and a 55-yard run. And we look to see if Dartmouth can answer back here in the third quarter. Esterlin on the return. Across the 25 to the 29-yard line.
JJ Esterlin on the carry. Raul Sanjay on that stop. And James Coleman also on that stop. Kristen 10 from
Unofficially,
the
Esterlin 53 yards on 6 carries in the first half.
Excuse me.
Or the pitch rather to Marquise. And Marquise will pick up a few yards. Stopped at the 34.
To Great run by Marquise there. He had to fight through some tackles in the backfield. Turn into a pretty good gain.
Tackle on the play by number 59. That's Kevin Thrasher.
2nd and 6. Now a first down, as that's a carry by Marquise again.
Easy Max on the carry. Hunter Darrow.
And they'll call Hunter Darrow with the stop there for the Trojans as we go inside of 10 minutes to go in the third. Fake handoff. Here's Kelly on the far side, and Kelly gets stopped at the 47.
Will Kelly on that keeper. And knocked out of bounds by number 12, Ryan Martinez.
Henny with the push out there of Kelly, who has 38 rushing yards on 10 attempts, but a couple of the runs he ended up getting a personal foul called on BR, so some important runs by the junior quarterback. Ball came out for a second, but Kelly falls on it right away.
Certainly not Dartmouth in there, back off almost. With 3rd and 9 now.
The ball will be placed on the 40-yard line.
Just like that, Will Kelly has his 7-yard run negated, and it's 3rd and 10 once again.
Be a big stock here for BR if they don't force him out. Get the offense back out here.
3 of 7 on 3rd down for Dartmouth. Kelly, he will complete that. And a first down, nice reception, nice run. Patrick Crane inside the 15 before he's finally pushed out by Devin O'Leary.
So Markham might have stepped out of bounds.
But we do have a flag, so that's all for naught.
Was there a BR player down? I think at the 50.
So Corey Abelard down right now at midfield, but at the huddle, Dan Buron is having a word with his team right now, and after surrendering such a big play like that, that would have been close to what, a 50-yard play that BR almost surrendered if it wasn't for the penalty.
Dartmouth back up to just where they started beforehand. Still a move from Abelard.
We go back and look at the penalty. Coming in at the left there, you see it was a push. And I think that's where the injury occurred as well. Dartmouth player pushed the BR player, it looked like, into Abelard. Almost like what you see in basketball with a moving pick.
Not sure, I couldn't quite see it. Was it his knees grabbing?
Corey Abelard, one of the 20 graduating seniors for the BR Trojans, playing in his final game here at the regional.
So they're tending something to his right leg. Not sure if it's lower.
And we've said Abelard's name a significant amount today on defense, and he's one of those players that has certainly been coming up in key moments for the BR Trojans this season, but obviously a lot beyond the football field right now, as this is a student of the BR school district.
get in the car here for Abelard. Doesn't look like he'll be able to walk off his own power.
I mean, it's just one of those freak incidents in football. Again, we can't speculate what happened, but it looks like it was a Dartmouth player who tried providing a block, but it ended up in two BR players, including Abelard, who's down the field right now, colliding. And you have to imagine for the players as well, it's difficult to see a situation like this where one of your teammates and one of your friends is down on the ground and in significant pain.
It's like they're opening gate in the other end zone, bring the card in now.
Well, I'm not sure if this is for a card or if it's for another apparatus, but again, you don't want to speculate at these types of moments. I think Dan Bjorn and Rick White are meeting at the middle of the field right now to talk things over. And I mean, these are two longtime head coaches. If they were talking on the field a long time before the start of the game.
That's something you just hate to see. It is part of the game. It's a physical game, but hope it never happens, especially kids these age, and just hope it's okay.
And again, the other aspect of this you have to think about is the fact that this is a crowd of family and friends, and you know, here in such a tight-knit community as BR, you have teammates that go out with other teammates and, you know, have fun and all that, but also they start to know each other's teammates, and the family does as well. And yeah, there is an ambulance coming in. So this is a serious situation here. Is again, Corey Abelard down on the field right now as you see the Bridgewater ambulance coming into the high school. There's just a hush that went over the high school and the crowd right now. There's a fire truck coming in as well to assist.
You know, it is going to be tough for these players too after he's able to be carted off here, that there's still a whole second half of football to play after you see one of your teammates and friends go down like this. It's really hard to mentally just even move past this.
So again, if you're just tuning in or joining us, the football game between Dartmouth and BR has become, has changed complexion completely here as Corey Abelard is down on the field right now. And I mean, we don't see this every day. We don't see an ambulance come onto the field during a football game, which tells you just how serious this is. again, this wasn't, something that was a dirty play or something that was out of the realm of football. It was a complete accident.
Not by any means, no. It's not intentional. It's just one of those freak plays where there's nothing you can really do about it.
I mean, I didn't see it until people in the crowd and in the press box started saying that there was a player down. And so again, we're just approaching this from a football angle because we're watching a football game right now, but you have to wonder as things start to get back to normal gameplay here, what is going through the player's mind, not just on the BR sideline, but also Dartmouth as well, because, I can imagine it's a little traumatizing seeing someone that you're playing against on the field writhing in pain to the point where an ambulance comes out.
Yeah, this isn't something, it's in the back of your mind, you know it could happen, but it's not something you're ever really prepared to see. And especially, kids these ages, 16 and 18 years old, it's just not really something you are just prepared for. So just slow down the ambulance now. Tough for you, just got to go back out and finish off the half here now.
And so our thoughts are with one of the many seniors here for the BR Trojans who just got put into an ambulance.
CPR now as well, or kind of restretching their way back in. It's been a big lull in playtime here.
Yeah, this has been close to 10 plus minutes of a stoppage.
Overall, just silence too. The crowd is completely just been shut down by the seeing this.
Yeah, I mean, I've called games here at the regional since this field opened up in 2007, 2008, and I've never seen a Bridgewater ambulance come on the football field. I think I've seen maybe one person get taken off behind the scenes, but I haven't seen anything like this.
BR now that you can call it off, you kind of just have to almost mentally just kind of block it out for a little bit and try to finish this game. It's really tough to do.
So it's going to be difficult for both of these teams to get back to playing something as simple as a football game, but that's where we are right now, an 11-point game with 8:54 to go between BR and Dartmouth. Kelly fakes the handoff, being rushed by Johnson, and Kelly's going to throw an incomplete pass. But again, the story of this game from the defensive side for BR has been the play of Logan Johnson.
He did a really good job getting the back of the getting pressure on Kelly there, and he was able just to throw it harmlessly. Just a dead ball middle of the field.
So another failed third down conversion brings up a 4th and 8.
There's a big chance here for BR if they're able to bring this punt down, able to bring it in for 6. Really start blowing this game open a little bit.
We have seen some special team lapses by Dartmouth in this game, but a clean kick by Kelly Takes a few Dartmouth bounces inside the 30. And the Trojans will start from their own 24. Capping off a 2-minute and 8-second drive. Now you hear the players trying to hype themselves back up, and members of the crowd as well getting behind the Trojans.
So it is currently just me right now, as we have some difficulties up here at the microphone, so I'll be taking over duties for you. So we have a timeout going for Dartmouth. Not sure something they saw. They're trying to go over something, sort of a play here. Just about 8.5 to go in the third quarter here. BR is up 28-17. Looking to try to extend this lead here. For those of you who have just joined us, returning a little bit recently, this is the senior day for BR. I have quite a few seniors on this roster, including this is also actually the last home game for Coach Dan Biron, who has been coaching here since 1993. Trying to get a win here, I believe his 300th game. We're set to resume play here. Nolan DeAndre still under center. Shovels it back out. Anthony Morrison continuing his hot day. Able to bring it out about to the 40-yard line, breaking more tackles on midfield. Seeing the replay, that this offensive line is really helping Morrison out. Getting all the creases he needs to move up the field. First and 10 from about the 40-yard line. Again, bounces it back out to Morrison. Morrison may cut off the field. Morrison getting some room, and then was tripped up around about the 42 Dartmouth territory. Anthony Morrison again moving chains. As he has done multiple times today. He's actually broken off two one-play touchdown scores of at least 75 and 55 yards. Three scores on the day for him in total. Hands off to the fullback, cutting up with a good cut to the right side. Standing up. It's Michael Rubo, and he is down on 15. Nice second effort by Rubo. Able to push it towards the red zone. Marking down the 17-yard line on the 1st and 10 for BR. for BR. Pitch back out to Morrison, who cuts it up middle. He's able to stay on his feet, down inside the 10-yard line. Dartmouth continuing having no answer for the run game for BR. It's now on the 5, first and goal for Bridgewater.
Was there anything compelling that one?
A lot of ground game. Welcome back, John.
All right. Well, apparently have lost the PA, so now any names and yardage is on us. We've gained more responsibility now.
Consider doing 2 voices when you're gone, but decided just to stick with 1.
I don't know if you can mock my, or I don't know if you can try and duplicate my voice.
I would have done.
If you had tried.
Completely different. Throw everyone off.
So 5.5 to go in the third quarter. The handoff is to Morrison, who now has 4 touchdowns on Senior Day.
He's definitely turning into it. It already has been a Senior Day to remember for Anthony Morrison. Now 4 scores on the day, extending BR's lead.
Game 1, it was 190 yards. Game 2, 284 yards. Game 3 of the season, 312 yards. And today, Anthony Morrison has 4 touchdowns. And that is his 11th touchdown of the season. And we are only 4 games into this 5-game season. Owen Green makes it 35-17.
It's actually no good.
Never mind, 34-17.
It's tough from our angle. Looked like it went wide right, I believe.
But how important was that touchdown given what we saw just a few moments ago, seeing one of the Trojans players being carted off in an ambulance to come back and not just play with consistency, but play with consistency and get a score?
Yeah, it really was an important drive there for BR as they were just to kind of get back in this mode of football here, as they do have another quarter and a half to go, and it was really a traumatic thing for them to see with Abelard getting carted off in an ambulance, but able to respond back and get a nice touchdown, fully on the ground as well.
We just got the power back, so hopefully we can identify some of the players.
As you may have heard, the PA system is back.
Luckily, we have Jeff Fowler there to start playing with plugs and plugging stuff in. I mean, that could be a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, either it gets fixed or we just stop the broadcast at some point and come back a few minutes later. Luckily, it was able to be fixed.
We've got a score of 34-17.
So now a 17-point game, meaning a 3-possession game. And when you get to this juncture of the third quarter, that's probably what Dan Bjorn's starting to think about here.
Dartmouth can't really afford to have any more stall drives on offense, as BR has shown no signs of slowing down offensively.
I'd like to welcome a lot of the ex-players of Mr. Brown and ex-players from BI who have come to the game and to acknowledge the fact.
So before the game, BR did recognize the seniors and the band, the cheerleaders, and the 20 seniors here for the football team. So there's going to be a significant amount of turnover as you go into the fall, just a few months away, least of which the head coach. Dan Bjorn, of course, coaching in his final game here at the regional. So there's going to be a lot of questions as the next season comes around in about, 5 months or so.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge turnaround for BR. The 20 seniors led by the head coach. And, decades just about. So it's going to be a really big challenge coming up for the next few years, trying to readjust into a new system, new life here.
That is Marquise. Sorry, that's Marquise on the return.
Number 56, Maxwell Compton on the stop for the Trojans. First and 10 from the 32-yard line.
So the Indians come out in a 2-receiver look. And they go with a handoff to Marquise for the short gain.
Great play up front for BR, stopping right after the line.
Raul Sanjay on that stop.
Raul Sanjay gets the stop, one of the seniors that we mentioned about. So now Dartmouth showing a 3-receiver look. As we approach 4.5 to go in the third quarter. Handoff goes to Esterlin, and Esterlin has broken free, and we have ourselves a football game with 4:26 to go.
Not have drawn that up any better for Dartmouth there. Very quick scoring drive. Not a lot of time taken off the clock, and they are right back in this game.
67 yards to the house.
As soon as he broke back into secondary, I believe he actually was able to break through Anthony Morrison there playing safety.
Offense galore in this football game, and it's a 10-point contest now, 34-24. I believe offensively, this is the most amount of points BR has scored this season. I think it's the most points they've allowed this season.
Well, if you're going to have those combined, might not be the worst thing for BR to have offense first.
4:24 left in the quarter.
So now Rick White and the Dartmouth football team maybe breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief now, making this once again 2 possessions, but a 10-point game. Now it's BR's turn to answer back with 4:24 to go in the third.
Back deep, Bridgewell Rain, Anthony Morrison, James Holland, and Jacob Spear.
So looks like he'll be Holland, Spear, and Morrison awaiting this kick.
Dartmouth hasn't really kicked deep too much today. See if they kind of do more of these squib line drive kicks or try to hit it towards the end zone.
Deep down, you had to imagine if you're Dan Biron, this is the type of game you probably wanted in a season like this, back and forth against a familiar rival. And this is Spear on the return, and I'll say the special teams of BR has really shown up, especially on the offensive side.
Yeah, they really have been getting some great returns. They've had a couple lucky breaks with squibs that haven't really gone anywhere. But I believe that's 2 or 3 really good returns for BR, getting you just about midfield.
Resting on the 46-yard line.
Nolan DeAndre does have a 14-yard passing play under his belt today and a 14-yard run. Dar goes to the far side and Brahini on the near side. And we get a timeout called by Dartmouth, and
I believe that's already their second. Sounds like they didn't have enough players on defense. One didn't have 12 men in the field, but to have 10, that's usually interesting.
I mean, you could start calling trick shots. If you stop a team with 10 men on the field, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
So again, the Trojans go on the road next week to play the Brockton Boxers, their Thanksgiving Day rival, but they're playing them a week after Easter. Typically there are some turkey hats that show up on Thanksgiving Day, so now if it's a week after Easter, do you start breaking out other headgear? Do you go with like the bunny ears even though it's a week after?
You could just not break tradition, just go with turkey again. Be there in spirit.
You could quit cold turkey. On first down, the handoff to Morrison, who's in Dartmouth territory, and Morrison has himself a 5-touchdown day.
PR keeps responding to one-play drives. This is third one-play score of the day.
That's his 5th touchdown of the game. I think he's after a dozen.
Anthony Morrison has turned into Mr. Touchdown for the PR Trojans, not just this season, but today. 73 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards, 55 yards, and now a 54-yard run that probably just dashed Dartmouth's hopes right now.
Yeah, we were talking before the game about like, oh, what should they do for next week against Brockton, and how it's going to be all to stop Morrison. You have a good chance on offense, but I wouldn't see anything this kid can be stopped today.
The kick is up, and Owen Green has had himself a very good day, missing only one PAT. And surprisingly, or rather, Green is a junior. I was going to say surprisingly, there are a decent amount of freshmen on this team that have had roles on this team this season.
You can get more players like that in a game like this. If BR is able to get one more stop and one more score, you can probably start putting up players that would normally be, in that starting rotation and see what they're made of out there. Not quite ready to call that yet, but
We thought it was over, but then it was a 67-yard run by Selnave Esterlin. Dartmouth is going to get probably some of their worst field position here, starting out from their own 17-yard line. But I think the one takeaway we can have from today for both teams is field position doesn't really matter when you have an excellent running game. Here's a run by Marquise, who gets met at the line of scrimmage for a short loss. That'll be Darrer with the stop.
Hunter Darrer, number 44 on that stop.
Dartmouth gets to keep pounding on offense, but like you said before there, your spirit's starting to break out there with Morrison just carving up on the defensive end. Can't really stop him up there.
On that last carry.
So now the dual threat, both Marquise and Esterlin in the backfield, along with the quarterback there, Will Kelly, but it'll be a short pickup for Esterlin. And it brings up a third down in basically what's a make or break drive. Handoff, but Logan Johnson's going to make sure nothing comes of that. Another third down conversion that goes awry. Now Dartmouth 3 of 9 on third down conversions. And a very, very quick 3 and out for Dartmouth.
4th and 9.
He's going to take it for a short return up to the 42, and we had a Dartmouth player slow to get up, but Darren Dutra does get up, and looks like he'll be okay here, but 1:57 to go, a 17-point game. He lines up on the far side. And an early jump, and after a very penalty-laden first half, that was only, I think, the first penalty of the second half.
BR is trying to tighten it up. Another one right there. Backing him up a little bit.
And number 32, James Holland.
Penalty number 6 on the day. DeAndre with the pitch to number 32, that's James Holland.
Holland on the carry, with second effort.
Another player down, I think.
Number 17, Owen Quigley Mello.
That's Hunter Darr down for the BR Trojans, and here we are a few minutes after we saw a difficult injury situation with Corey Abelard. We see Darr down on the field right now. And Darr, another one of the seniors that were recognized before the game. So while they tend to Hunter Darr, we do want to talk about one of the bright spots of the day, and that has been the performance of number 18. Well, that's the carry there by Holland, but mentioned Anthony Morrison on the day, 5 touchdowns. And, I mean, he's approaching 300 yards rushing once again.
Yeah, I mean, he's really had a day for himself today. We've been talking about, he is the focal point of this offense, and that defense is just really, focusing on him, trying to shut him down. But Dartmouth has given nothing, even like remotely slow him down at all.
So Dar will get helped off the field, but he is able to move here. But again, I mean, just the play of Anthony Morrison, not just today, but we've seen what he can do against Durfee a couple weeks ago. The explosive speed, especially right out of the start, is impressive.
Yeah, he really is a special kid, and he's going to be a very important piece here for BR down this stretch. They try to make themselves a good run.
Again, not 1, not 2, sounding like LeBron James here, not 3, not 4, but 5 touchdowns for number 18. In a high school program for football that has had a lot of running backs, that has had a decent amount of success. The carry by Holland. And PR has seen their fair share of talented running backs as well. I mean, you go back to the sectional finals against King Philip in back-to-back years, and Shane Fromer, he was a beast to deal with for defenses, and you kind of see that a little bit here, but it's great to see BR has a running back very talented like Anthony Morrison.
Yeah, it's always great to see a team with a very high powered offensive weapon like Morrison. It's really just fun seeing guys go out there and just tear it up.
So this should be the final play of the third quarter inside of 30 seconds to go. DeAndre completes it to Braheny, and Braheny's going to be stopped shy of the 30, brings up a 4th down by about a yard or so.
The pass is complete to number 12, Brian Braheny.
Good move there by Braheny, trying to get close. On 4th and about.
And there will be extra time to think about that as the third quarter comes to an end with BR on top 41-24 through 3 quarters of play. Again, the story has been the play of number 18, Anthony Morrison, 5 touchdowns. But again, Dan Bjorn coaching in not just his 300th game, but his final game as coach, athletic director at BR, and a lot of people in the community know him. And obviously he's a face that a lot of people see here in Bridgewater and Rainham. He's also helped us out on the news. As you see, that's Dan Bjorn on the left and Nick Sylvia on the right. That is back in 2004, where Dan Bjorn came on to Bridgewater this week on Channel 9 to do the news with Nick Sylvia. And this is something that Dan Bjorn talked about in his interview with Brian, the fact that he's been helping out with, that he helped out with BTV hosting the news, but he also credited us here at BTV with being such an integral part with the BR football program and helping out. And it's great to see the cohesive unit that BR and BTV have become over the past number of years. And now one final quarter of play here, most likely, for Dan Bjorn at home for the BR Trojans. A handoff up the middle, that is Holland, and Holland gets himself a first down and getting himself some decent playing time.
Yeah, like a big lead as BR does right now with one more quarter to play here. Probably see some new names coming in, especially if there's a touchdown on the board.
The first 4th down conversion for BR of the day. We'll kill off more clock as we approach the 10-minute mark in the 4th quarter.
First and 10 for the Trojans from the 24-yard line.
Again, at this point, you look at the referee's arm when it goes up. It's time to start getting the play going. And that is what happens as Jacob Spear gets a carry.
They're just being content to take as much time off the clock as they can. Just keep moving the chains.
Second and around 6.
Nolan DeAndre, the quarterback for the BR Trojans, a junior, so expect to see him back with the Trojans coming up in September. Again, a quick turnaround, so that's going to be interesting to see how teams in high school football rebound from going to and playing a spring schedule that ends in mid to late April to playing football once again in spring practices starting in August.
Yeah, it's really interesting. You have to finish out the school year. You have the summer off. Probably have some, maybe some camp early on. I'm not sure how that system works, but yeah, it's a pretty quick turnaround. Hopefully players are able to stay loose and healthy during that time.
And we mentioned the 20 seniors, but they still have 16 seniors for BR, 13 sophomores, and mentioned 3 freshmen on this BR Trojans football team, which continues to churn out players. Of course, a lot of credit being given to the Bridgewater Badgers youth football program that has had a number of undefeated seasons and a number of Super Bowl wins, and played in the Pro Football Hall of Fame tournament a few years ago when Andre Tippett came to town. The pitch goes to Holland, and Holland is stopped. Cole Perry, one of the defenders, bringing down number 32 for the Trojans. And Jared Holmes in as well. Trojans 2 of 3 on third down conversions today. Again, you hear 2 of 3 and that's a good number, but just the fact that they've only had 3 third down conversions, and again, this is my math, so probably add a couple onto that, but still, very few third down situations for this BR offense today.
Helps when you have, I believe, 3 scores that were in one play only.
Quick pass, DeAndre completes it to Braheny, and he'll be wrapped up around the 15. That is Esterlin.
Decision to make here for BR. Should be 4th and short, I believe.
I have to imagine this is probably one of the final drives for many of these players on the field right now for the BR Trojans. As again, you're looking at the top of the screen when the referee's arm goes up. And nice hard count there by DeAndre.
Last thing Dartmouth needed there. Hope it's just starting to dwindle out now.
The offside is against Dartmouth, and that will be a first down for the Trojans.
Six flags on BR and 4 on Dartmouth, and 25 penalty yards going on the Indians. This has been a day in the season predicated on the run. We have seen DeAndre complete a pass. They continue to stay on the ground. A handoff goes to Holland for the short pickup. As Nick Hogue comes on for Luke Payton, a senior for senior transaction there on the field for BR. drive that has taken more than 5 minutes off the clock. Hand off to Spear, and Spear will get himself a touchdown. Jacob Spear with a 5-yard run to make it 47-24.
Great drive by VR. Keeping it pretty much all the ground, except maybe 1 or 2 throws. But it really took some serious time off the clock with 5:47 to go in this one. Multiple scorers. VR might have just locked themselves up here today.
So Spear finds the end zone on his senior day. As Owen Green comes on, looking to make it a 48-24 game. Snap and the hold are good, as is the kick. 48-24.
We were talking about it's probably going to be a high-scoring game offensively for BR, but don't think either of us saw this play coming.
Quite the send-off here for Dan Buron, again, his 300th career game. He credits a lot of the success over his time to his coaches. A lot of the coaches have been here for a long, long time as well, and I believe there's even a couple of the position coaches that help out that actually played for Dan Buron as well.
That's when you know you've been around for a while. It's like your former guys are starting to help you out now. It's definitely a rewarding experience, though.
So a 48-24 game, BR on top, and I mean, I think this is the first game you and I have actually called in about, what, 14 months or so?
Yeah, I think it was around Happy one of the
NASCAR tournament, I think.
Yeah, probably the basketball games or around there. Yeah, because I think we finished just before everything else kind of fell apart last year.
That's when the first round exit was probably a good thing in the long run.
Yeah.
Calling games for the Bear Sports Network over at Bridgewater State. Tom actually graduating from Bridgewater State this year, and the news actually came out that you're going to have yourself quite a graduation backdrop up at Gillette Stadium for BSU.
Yeah, so graduated, in 2019, just before 2020, and then we obviously couldn't walk last year, so lucky enough we're about to be able to do it at Gillette Stadium this summer, so that's going to be really cool.
I'm just wondering how many people are going to try and Gronk stuff as they get their, get their diploma on stage up to the 28-yard line. You have to imagine someone's going to try to do that.
Yeah, most likely. It'll be cool to be out there, though. The field, I think it'll be my second time ever out in the field, so look forward to that.
Congratulations, and that'll be coming up at the end of July, right?
Yep, be July, I think it's 29th, 30th, and 31st for grads, undergrads, and the class of 2021. So they're actually able to graduate in Gillette as well.
And it's great to see them being recognized, and they did that here at the regional back in August. They had in-person graduation after a virtual graduation in June. And here at BR, they had the seats spaced out as Kelly gets called with the forward progress there. At some point there back at the 20, but they had the chairs spaced out 6 feet. They made it so you just pick up your diploma on the table. You don't shake hands. There's hand sanitizer. So credit to BR and BSU for trying to make sure the recognition is given to the seniors, and hopefully we can recognize the seniors coming up later on this year on the football field here at the regional.
It's one of those tough. It's usually a longer ceremony. Everyone's there for one person, but it still is put in all the hard work at those years. It's high school and college. You want to get ceremony and your celebration for all that hard work the students do.
Esterlin with the carry, and for Dartmouth, they're going to have a lot of players back, so you're not going to see games like this, 48-24, Dartmouth down by 24 for long, as they're only graduating 5 seniors. And going down the list here, Kelly's a junior, Esterlin's a junior, Marquise is a junior, so expect a bit of a revival for Dartmouth coming up in the future.
Another credit, they had a pretty solid first half. They're right in there with it with BR, but they just couldn't keep up with this high-powered offense in the second half. But 24 points on the board. See if they can try to string together one last drive here.
Pushed out by Antonio Carucci.
Driven out of bounds by number 5, Antonio Carucci.
And you have to imagine, this is a very special moment for some of these players. Yes, it's a 24-point game with 4 minutes to go, but I mean, I don't think I've said Antonio Carucci's name, or I haven't said Jacob Spears' name a lot this year, so a chance to get your name said on the PA, get your role on the field, get some time under a helmet and pads.
Yeah, because all these players may not be starting every game or getting all the highlights, but they're still showing up to practice. They're still putting in the grind, all the effort. So it's really good just to see that they just kind of get their recognition. They're putting in the hard work and just finally getting some time to show.
Once again, our thoughts are with Corey Avalar, who, if you're just joining us, taken out the field in the ambulance after a nasty leg injury, it looked like, from up here. So thinking of him, as he is one of the 20 seniors that suited up one last time here at the regional, but there's still one more game to go. Again, that comes up next Saturday in Brockton. A game that you can watch on BTV. I believe a combination of BTV and BCA. And here you see another example of what we were talking about. Looks like Connor Chaka, another senior coming out. And it looks like this is a freshman, Declan Byrne, coming out for the BR Trojans. Mentioned 3 freshmen. Declan Byrne, a freshman. Mason Berry is a freshman. As is Miles Beckett. Chaka lining up on the near side for the Trojans. Here's a handoff across midfield. That is Daniel Francis with his first carry of the day. Looks like that's number 2, Jameer Austin, on the far side. There's a handoff and a pretty decent burst there. Looks like that's number 23.
Which we don't have listed.
Now, we didn't have 34 listed, but it turns out that was actually, I should say 34 for Dartmouth, but it turns out that was actually Ethan Marquise. So. Again, they go, or rather it's the QB keeper there by Byrne to pick up the first down, and BR's gonna have a chance to close things out as we approach 2 minutes to go.
Souza on the tackle, first.
It's very nice of Byrne picking up his towel. Don't want to live at the field. Split receiver look here for the Trojans, who take it inside a minute and a half, and Byrne's going to get taken down a couple yards from the line of scrimmage.
Looks like they should be able to just about finish off the game here with this drive.
So a favorite play of many winning teams here, the kneel down coming up from the freshman quarterback. And that should be the final play, if not one more kneel down. But nonetheless, for the football coach that started BR football here on this football field about 12 years ago and has punched his ticket to Super Bowls, won his 200th game here for Dan Biron. He closes out his tenure as BR head coach with a win on this Saturday afternoon in April. 48-24, the BR Trojans continue an undefeated season behind an awesome effort of number 18, Anthony Morrison. 5 touchdowns on the day.
Yeah, really was a great highlight day for him, especially on senior day here. Really just to steal the game for BR. The team sport, but Anthony Morrison really showed out today.
Dan Biron and Rick White shaking hands in the middle of the field. Again, a school that Dan Biron is very familiar in facing in their OCL days. Now SEC rivals here in the Southeast Conference. And again, there's one more game to go for the BR Trojans. That is on the road in Brockton. We'll have that for you here on BTV in a collaborative effort between BTV and BCA. But that'll do it for us here. For everybody behind the scenes, Mary Evers, Mike Moriello, Mark Dean, and Jeff Fowler. And for Tom Quigley, I'm John Luck. Have a great day.